So we stopped at the formula equilibrium constant equal the products of the products raised to the power of the coefficient divided by the products of the reactants concentration raised to the power of the coefficient, and this is also the definition of the equilibrium constant. Type. Notice that this is very important. So this term can be smaller than 1, can be equal 1, or can be greater than 1. What does this mean? If equilibrium constant is smaller than 1, this means that the concentration of C and D smaller than the concentration of A and B. Yani when the equilibrium attained, this is the reaction. A plus B gives C plus D. So equilibrium constant is smaller than 1 means that the product concentration is smaller than the reactant concentration, صح? يعني this means when the equilibrium attained, it is attained at high concentration of the reactant and low concentration of the product. And this means that the equilibrium favors the reactants. يبقى let us write it because this is important. يبقى this means that equilibrium favors reactant. If equilibrium constant is greater than 1, means that the concentration, means that the numerator is greater than the denominator, right? So this means that the concentration of the products are greater than the concentration of the reactant. Means that when the equilibrium attained, it is achieved at high concentration of the products and the low concentration of the reactants. And remember, we said that at equilibrium the concentration are constant but not necessarily equal. يعني here the equilibrium is attained when C and D are مثلا 50, A and B are 40, for example. Okay, so 50 stays 50 constant, 40 stay 40 constant. Okay, so this means that equilibrium favors the products. Okay, طب if it is equal 1, this means that roughly, approximately, the concentration of products equal the concentration of the reactant, such that the ratio is approximately 1. And this means that when equilibrium achieved, it is achieved at equal concentration of reactant and products. This means that concentration of reactant and product are the same. Okay, this is very important. Also, I want to say something, that the equilibrium constant is independent on the rate of the reaction. It depends on the concentration of the reactants. How much concentration do we have? This يعني determines the equilibrium, but it doesn't show how fast the reaction goes. Also, equilibrium, so all what we need to know the equilibrium constant is the molar concentration of both reactants and products. Okay, that's it. So again, this is all about section 1. Let us revise it together. So we have that. We have to understand that types of reaction, reversible and irreversible. This is a symbol, this is a symbol. What are the conditions to make the reaction irreversible? 1, 2, 3. Okay, otherwise it is irreversible. And we said that this diagram is very important. At time 0, the concentration of the reactants are maximum, so the rate of reaction is very high. The concentration of the product is 0, so the rate of reaction is also 0. And as the reaction proceeds, the concentration of the reactant decreases, so the forward reaction rate decreases. The concentration of the product increases, so the rate of backward reaction also increases. Okay, till we reaches the equilibrium where the rate equal the rate. So the equilibrium is the state in which the rate of forward reaction equal the rate of backward reaction, and the two lines or the two arrows will be the same length. We said that equilibrium is a dynamic process because the product and the reaction and the reactants keep on working or reacting in the same in the opposite direction but with the same rate. At equilibrium, the concentrations of both reactants maintain the same, products maintain the same, so they are constant but not necessarily equal. What is equal is the rate of the forward and backward reaction. and then we deduce the formula. طبعا for sure we will not ask you to prove it, but we deduce it together till we reach that the equilibrium constant equal the mathematical products of the concentration of the products over the reactants raised to the power of the coefficient. And then we revise it. What is the meaning of K is smaller than 1 or K equal 1 or K greater than 1? And we mentioned that the equilibrium constant is independent or does not show the rate